The members of the crypto community have jumped down that rabbit hole. They're all in, and they assume everybody else ought to be as well. That's not the way it works.
We have the esteemed Ric Edelman here with DACFP out at the summit. We're here with the Texas Blockchain Council. Welcome, Ric.
Oh, it's great to be with you. Thanks.
Yeah, so today you've done your keynote speech, and you've kind of run through. You're looking at. We were talking a little bit before about bridging the gap right now. Where do you see the need in the marketplace for education?
Well, it comes into two aspects. And what I do these days is serve as a crypto education provider where we're trying to bridge the crypto community with the financial services community. The crypto community is developing transformational products and services that are going to revolutionize commerce on a global scale. The problem is nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody who's just casually observing the marketplace thinks that it's full of speculators or fraudsters or fadsters, and they don't realize the underlying technological revolution that is going to make businesses operate faster and cheaper and safer with greater transparency and inclusion than ever before. So my goal is to help the crypto community get the message out so that they can help consumers as well as investors understand the power of what it is they're building. Simultaneously, most wealth in America is managed by financial advisors. Financial advisors manage 2/3 of all the wealth in America. Most financial advisors, most advisory firms know little to nothing about crypto, and they are therefore not engaging. Only 12% of financial advisors currently recommend Bitcoin to their clients. And if the advisor's not recommending Bitcoin, then the client's not buying it because 2/3 of clients rely on their advisor. This is keeping most Americans out of this investment opportunity. They're missing the greatest wealth generation opportunity of the century. So we need to educate the financial advisory community about crypto, and we need to educate the crypto community about the ability to work with the financial advisory industry so that together, the two of them can really improve the lives of Americans across the country.
If you're looking at from a nuggets perspective, if you had to boil it all the way down, what do you think is missing on the crypto in the crypto community to be able to bridge that gap with the advisor community?
They don't understand the investment advisory world. The crypto community doesn't understand that investment advisors manage 2/3 of the nation's wealth, that American consumers really aren't that much interested in crypto. They're busy with their own lives. They're busy with work. They're dealing with their families and their parents and their children. They don't have the time, the desire, or the knowledge to engage. That's why they hire advisors. The crypto community doesn't understand that. The members of the crypto community have jumped down that rabbit hole. They're all in, and they assume everybody else ought to be as well. That's not the way it works. They instead need to go to where the investors are going, and that's to investment advisors. So that's what the crypto community is failing to understand, and that's what we're trying to help them learn.
Is there anybody in the community that you see that has embraced that role well inside the crypto community that does understand that?
I would say that the two best organizations are Bitwise Asset Management and Eaglebrook Advisors, which is the largest crypto SMA provider, provider of separately managed accounts. Bitwise fully understands how advisors work, how to interact with them, how to get them to recommend their products to their clients, and they're doing extremely well. They're the largest and oldest pure crypto fund manager in the industry. Eaglebrook Advisors equally understands the role of financial advisors in the financial services industry, and they're working with some of the biggest mutual fund and ETF providers in the country. Most of the other players in the crypto community are not at that level of competency, and as a result, they're not seeing the success in their own business model because of it.
It is interesting seeing, I had a chat with Mike Alfred last night, and he credits a great degree of his success working with you, starting out just in some of the other, some of the projects that he's been working on.
Yeah, I've worked with Mike for decades, and he is originally, like me, from the financial services industry, who has made the leap to the crypto community, and he's working hard to build out this sector. Mike is heavily involved in Eaglebrook Advisors, as am I, and he's one of the few who gets it.
Yeah, no, he was singing your praises last night, and just y'all's relationship before this. Now, so he's coming from the financial advisory role. If someone's coming from the crypto world and trying to make that bridge into, from their perspective, how can they best educate themselves to interface with advisors?
Well, crypto players need to quit coming solely to crypto conferences. I'm not saying they shouldn't be, for example, at this event, which is one of the biggest and best crypto conferences in the country.
We'll give you the $20 later for that. We
if
appreciate
you're
it.
in
We
the
appreciate
crypto
it.
industry, you need to be here, no question about it. But you don't need to be only here.
Yes.
Because there are no advisors here. This is a conference for the blockchain community. So you're seeing your brethren here, which is great. It's helping you build your business and develop it. Wonderful. But you're not going to sell anybody anything here because these aren't your customers. What you need to do is go where your customers are. You need to go, in addition to crypto conferences, you need to go to financial advisor conferences. You need to learn about the advisory community. There are huge conferences in the country. We run one of the oldest and largest crypto conference in the industry. It's called Vision. It's going to be in June in Austin, Texas. It's the oldest and largest crypto conference exclusively for financial advisors. So there are no crypto companies there other than those who are sponsoring the event. And it's an opportunity for advisors who are into crypto to learn more about the crypto space. And this is where the kind of event where the crypto community needs to go. You need to go where your target audience is. And if you don't do that, you're not going to succeed.
And if you don't understand your target audience, if some of these miners, if you're looking at raising capital, if you're looking at navigating it, you have to educate yourself.
It drives me crazy how I so often come upon a crypto company that is building a really cool product or service, and they come to me for help in selling it, in building it, and getting customers, generating assets or investors. And I ask them how they're doing it, and they're saying, well, they're going looking for millionaires to invest 10 grand. And I'm like, don't go to a millionaire. Go to an investment advisor who is managing $1 billion for 1,000 clients. If you get that one advisor to engage with you, he'll give you $20 million, not 10 grand. It's much easier, much more effective, much more penetrating. You'll achieve your own business success faster and easier if you work with the investment advisor community.
If you educate yourself, if you go past that, get past a little bit of the, you have to maybe put on the suit and tie, or
No, I'm not wearing. Those days are largely gone. You're wearing one, but I'm not. But you need to understand how advisors work, what matters to them, how do they run their business, how do they get compensated, what do they care about, and their delivery of client service. Learn that, and you'll hit a home run.
What do you think is the biggest thing holding back advisors from entering the crypto space right now?
Compliance concerns, regulatory lack of clarity. Which is why we're working so hard in Washington to create that clarity, get laws enacted by Congress, develop the regulations by the agencies, the SEC, CFTC, FDIC, IRS, and we're making inroads in that area. We widely expect over the next 2 years, you'll see a lot of new law and regulation on the books. The advent of the new Bitcoin ETFs is going to be a huge step forward because this has complete regulatory clarity. It'll be so easy for advisors to use this and engage for the first time entering the crypto marketplace. And it's going to be a massive door opener to the entire industry. Billions of dollars of inflows into Bitcoin and other assets.
And so it's really who's getting positioned right now for when that occurs.
Exactly. Now is the time to engage, to prepare yourself for the onslaught of asset flows that are going to be coming over the next several years.
Now, taking a step back, you started your career initially as a reporter.
Yeah.
And then you transitioned over and got into the space right before the .com, right before the launch of Netscape in 92?
Oh, no, in 1986.
86. And then
I got involved before the crash of 87.
That's right before.
So I've been doing this since the really early days, showing my age. And I was a reporter in the financial trade press, and I realized I can be of much greater value and service to consumers by actually giving them individual advice rather than just writing articles. So I started with my wife, our financial planning practice, back in 1986. It has since grown to become the largest RIA in the nation, now managing $260 billion in assets for 1.3 million households. We're the largest 401k advice provider to about 35-40% of the Fortune 500. And I've been hosting radio and television. I've written 13 best-selling books, and we all focus our energy on crypto education and broadly financial education.
And you took that, that reporter background, you're writing, and you've taken it and you've really built that into your practice.
Right.
But you've started, it seems like you've leaned into technology your entire career. The changes in the marketplace, rather than being afraid of them, you've leaned into them, which has allowed you to
Which
expand.
most others don't do. I learned early on that the key to investment success is figuring out what's coming next. And that means looking at technological innovation. So I'm a bit of a futurist, as I've come to be known in the industry. My last book was The Truth About Your Future, which is all about exponential technologies, AI, robotics, nanotech, biotech, bioinformatics, 3D printing, big data, fintech, edtech, agtech, and of course, blockchain. And that led to my most recent book, The Truth About Crypto, helping our clients and investors across the country look at where we're headed, what's coming with these technological innovations. Most advisors are not engaged in this way, and the advice they're giving their clients is therefore out of date. They're looking backward at the 20th century innovations instead of forward at the 21st century. If you look forward, you realize that blockchain technology and the digital assets that it creates is the most transformative technology since the internet.
Have you seen a point in your career when there's an inflection point where advisors lose clients by not keeping up with the technology?
Absolutely.
Initially, maybe they retain clients because they're not spooking their clients into something new. But there's a point at which the advisor starts losing those clients?
Yeah, we have to recognize that in the financial advisory field, most of them look like me, old white men. I've been in the business 40 years. That's true of most advisors. The average advisor in this country is over the age of 62. We have more certified financial planners over the age of 70 than under the age of 30. So it's an industry filled with old people who've been doing this for decades, and they are largely still doing it the way they were doing it 30 years ago, out of date, out of step with what's happening today. They're not using technology to the fullest potential. They're not taking advantage of today's investment opportunities. And increasingly, their clients are recognizing it because their clients, who are also aging with them, are talking to their children in their 20s and 30s and 40s, and their children are saying to their parents, Mom, Dad, why are you owning those investments? Why aren't you also owning these investments?
Yep.
So the parents are paying attention to this. They're turning to their advisors for help, and the advisors are deer in headlights, unfamiliar with crypto. When the client says, what's Bitcoin? And the advisor says, I don't know, that undermines the advisor's credibility, causes the client to seek elsewhere for advice.
Now, do you see that opportunity for consolidation within the industry? Some of these older advisors selling off their practices and being acquired by some of the larger operations that are able to get good multipliers.
Over the next 10 years, you're going to see a massive wave of M&A in the advisory industry. It's already well underway. My firm has done half a dozen acquisitions this year alone. There are a lot of large RIA firms that are growing through M&A. You're going to see a massive amount of M&A as the first generation of advisors, guys like me, age out. And that's going to occur throughout the rest of this decade and into the next.
It's really great to see, you have the gray hairs for some perspective, but you have the energy and the passion and the foresight of, the younger generation. You're right out, you've kept your finger on the pulse.
Well, it keeps you young and engaged. And when you do pay attention to these technologies, you can't help but get excited about it.
So I have to ask you a question that's completely off base for blockchain and the business side of it. You've been married for a long time.
Yeah.
What has been the key to that?
Well, yes, dear, helps.
38 years. 38 years.
We were married in 1982.
Okay.
And so, I love my wife dearly. We've been partners throughout our whole relationship. We got married, I guess it was 5 years after we met in college when Jean was a freshman. And then we were married a year after she graduated. She was a year behind me. We built our business together all these decades. The real key, it's real simple, and I think everybody knows this. It's just respect. It's just acknowledging your partner for who they are and appreciating them and letting them know that you appreciate them.
It's a big part, communicating it.
Yeah. And, people often joke with me or say to me, how does it feel to have your name on the door? Edelman Financial, the biggest RIA in the country, and I joke, that's not my name, that's Gene's.
Gene's name. No, it's on the marriage side, it's rare to see people that are successful in both arenas. There's a little bit of a challenge there sometimes when you're spending so much energy building an empire, building something that's really strong on the business front, to be able to maintain that relationship and be able to.
Well, we recognized early on that we both had a very different set of skills. I'm a big thinker, the idea guy, good communicator. Gene is master of the detail, operationally proficient.
That's why you have Don, right? Don is amazing at the detail in the business as well.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
And he is president of DACFP. And what Gene and I realized early on is that we each have our swim lanes, stay out of each other's way, everything will go fine. And as soon as I try to tell Gene how to do what she's doing, that conversation's not going to go real well.
That's where you learn the yes, dear.
The way Gene phrases it is, I cause the problems and she fixes them.
Gotcha.
Works out well.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you stopping by today. We were great to have you out here. Anything that we didn't touch base on that you want to make sure that you get out to our audience?
Well, I'm just excited to be here. And if you want to learn more about the services we provide for the crypto community and helping you build your business, visit us at DACFP.com, DACFP.com.
If you're raising capital, if you want to educate yourself on interfacing with advisors, and then also vision. Lee was out there last year in June, and
yes.
I've heard several testimonies from people that were there. It was an intimate affair, and the level of education was second to none.
It's the oldest, largest crypto conference exclusively for financial advisors. So you are in an environment that is a real deep dive of serious professionals who want to learn more about this space to be able to access it and engage on behalf of their clients. If you're in the crypto community trying to generate assets, trying to distribute your product or service, that's where you need to be, because that's the audience you need to be in front of.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for coming out to the 2023 North American Blockchain Summit. It was the best summit yet. We look forward to hosting you again next year. If you enjoyed the summit or like what you saw in this video, be sure to subscribe. If you're interested in learning more about membership in the TBC, go to texasblockchaincouncil.org to learn more.